I've got to stop saying I'll look at printers. I hate these things. Words can't describe how much I hate these things. At least this one's a laser and not an inkjet, but whatever. Anyway, this is a HP LaserJet Pro CM1415, and it doesn't print. That's my compressor on in the background. That might be clicking on and off because of reasons. Anyway, so I'll show you what it does. Print test page, one document in the queue. So basically, the client put some new toner cartridges in this thing, and it sounds like they bought some pretty crappy ones because apparently it leaks toner everywhere. And certainly when I pulled out the paper tray when I was setting the thing up, it was covered in toner. I blew all of that off with the air compressor, and I've got the air compressor to hand, which is why it's clicking on and off because it leaks slightly. As you can see, it says there's a jam, basically. It says there's a jam in tray 1, but there is no jam. So that's what we're looking at. Now, I've already had a quick look, so I'm now going to rearrange everything and show you all of that run again, and you'll be able to see exactly what the problem is and what we've got to try and figure out how to resolve. So let me rearrange the cameras. Alright, so there's a convenient flap at the front here which allows us to see right across the top of the paper tray. So there's the paper there, and if I hit OK on the screen, it's going to try again. I watch very carefully at the back of the paper tray. Oh, lasers are slow to get going. That's the disadvantage of them. Although this one's particularly bad. I used to have a Dell 3110 CN in the shop, and that thing didn't take this long to warm up. Okay, here we go. So you can clearly see the pickup roller isn't getting hold of the page there. Now, there's the paper tray sensors are detecting that the tray is full of paper. However, the pickup isn't getting any paper, so the printer is assuming that there must be a jam, because it knows that there is paper there, but the paper is not passing through the system. So it's assuming there's a jam. So we can see this is a roller issue there. So what I need to do is try and get to that pickup roller at the back and try and clean that up. And that will probably resolve things. It's probably covered in toner and it's made it all slick and not grippy. Okay, let's power this thing down. So the first thing I need to do is figure out how much trouble it's going to be to get access to that roller. I might be able to get to it from the back of the printer. So I'm going to spin it round. And I'm hoping that I don't have to really take much of this thing to bits, because disassembling printers is a bit horrible. Right. Right, okay, the back access panel is useless. I think that's that might be a fuse unit, or I think that's just a transfer belt actually. There is traces of leaked toner around here, but I mean you'll find toner everywhere in a laser printer, so that's not entirely uncommon. I tell you what, does that guy come out? I think it does. I've got to be careful, because if I snap one of these plastic arms, then it's game over. No, I'm not seeing anything there. I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to flip the whole thing on its side and see if there's any access up the bottom of the printer. Let's see what we get there. Oh, there is. Oh, now we're getting somewhere. Wacha. There we go, there's our guy. Oh wow, that's slick. Yeah, that's covered in toner. Can I turn that manually? No. I wonder if I could start it on its side. I don't think it would like that. I'm not going to try that. There's just little piles of toner everywhere in this thing. Let's get rid of that. Right, I'm going to try using some alcohol just to clean up this roller here. I've no idea if this is going to work or not, but we'll try it. Oh, and then the camera froze. Test on a small area. That's more like it, yeah. I think that's working a treat. Okay, so we've got to get this thing to turn around now. That's the problem. I wonder if I can disconnect the drive from it. So we've got some cams on the end here, so you can see how as this shaft rotates, the cams operate the paper lifter, which lifts the tray up to lift the paper up to the roll to the pickup. But I can't see where the drive is coming in from. So I don't know if I'm breaking anything by trying to force it to move. Because if it's being driven off of worm gears and stuff like that, I won't be able to spin it from this end. Let's just get that down there. To see if we can get the toothbrush in. I tell you what I could do actually, I could prop the entire printer up on boxes so there's a big gap underneath. That would work. Because what I want to do is have it running so I can have this turn around while I sit there and go brush, 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 brush. That's going to work. Let's do that. Okay, so I've propped this thing up on a couple of power supplies. Seems pretty safe. Don't worry, that's more stable than it looks. So let's turn it back on again. Power on. Now, will the roller move without the paper tray in? That's the question. Are we going to have to manually tweak some sensors to fool it into thinking the paper tray is in? Right, the answer to that is yes, it says load paper. Now, of course, if I put the paper tray in, I think that's going to block my view of literally everything. Yes. Okay, that's fine. Let's leave that out a sec. So the paper tray itself has... The paper tray has no noticeable contacts on it. So all of the paper detection seems to be via mechanical means. Aha. I think that's our guy. What does that do? Right, okay, so on the end of the paper tray, which I'm just poking into camera view here, see we've got this black bit sticking out the end there. Now, if I lift the paper up, that guy can lift or drop, or it can do something. And that sticks between these contacts here. So presumably there's some kind of optical sensor there that's detecting that thing being up or down. So if I stick something in there, that'll probably make it think that there's paper in there. There we go. Found a rubber grommet that I've just jammed in there. Aha! And the printer thinks that there is a paper tray in there now. So let's give it a test run. Let's send another test page. There we go. Look at her go. Wow, you can see really clearly the area where I've cleaned it and the area where it's still dirty. Okay. Okay, right. Here we go. Okay, try again. I've got to wait for the damn thing to initialize every time it makes an attempt to print. This printer is balls slow. Okay, right, I drowned it and I got a bit of brushy on it. I think it's going to need another go. Okay, paper jam, okay. Now we have to wait for it to initialize again. And I'm going to dampen the brush this time because as you can see all that alcohol has just dried out immediately. I probably did the job just then, but I'm going to do it again just for good measure. There we go, that must have got it. Right, let's give that a bit of turbo dry. Yeah. That feels good. Right, let's stick the paper tray in there and see if it picks up a page. And I'm going to bin the top page that's covered in, oh you can't, there you go, it's got toner all over it. Get rid of that one, because that's just going to muck up my nice shiny roller again. Whoops, I better take out my trick grommet. Now, my biggest concern at the moment is that the first roller is going to pick up. Now it's all been nice and cleaned. However, all the internal rollers are also going to be covered in toner. That's my worry. So we'll see how well it does. Okay, it picked up. That looks good. Okay, it's feeding through another page. Oh, wow. Okay. There's a lot of loose toner in this thing. Right, is it happy? Is it done? Okay, spat out 2 pages. They're both dated differently, so these were just 2 pages that were in the printer queue, so that's fine. Lot of loose toner on this one. Did that get fused? Yeah, it fused it. So let's switch to the good camera. Right, so if we look at this test page that came out, firstly you'll see all these black streaks and marks on it. So the first thing that I wanted to know is, does this rub off? And the answer to that is no. That toner does not rub off the page. So that means that this toner fell onto the page before it went through the fuser. Now the fuser, for those of you who don't know how a laser printer works, the toner is applied onto the page via various magics in there that I won't go into now. Then the last stage of the process is the fuser unit, which is a hot roller, which basically bonds the toner to the page. So all of this stuff fell onto the page while it was going through the transfer belts and the other wizardry, and then it got fused to the page through the fuser unit. Now the second page that came out, we've still got some lines across it, which you can just about see. However, that speckling is gone. What about the blue? The blue is about the same. But so basically, if we run some pages through this, the chances are this is all going to clear up, and the printer will just naturally purge out that excess toner that's sitting on top of the rollers and stuff like that. So let's run a couple more pages through it, and we'll see if that improves. Okay, so the third page that came out, very faint lines on it. Fourth page, those lines are basically, you can't see them anymore. So that has naturally cleared up. The blue on Windows printer test page and that logo there is looking a bit sketchy. However, the customer did say they put the old toner cartridges back in. So it's probably just a low toner cartridge. I mean, if I took out the cartridge and shook it up a bit, that would probably sort it out. And by shake it, I mean, you take them out and you twist them like that. Just like you're turning over an hourglass. That's all you got to do. You don't need to shake them, just turn them over. Just so the toner spreads out inside it, and then it comes out evenly. Yeah, that's done. We're finished. Thank you very much for watching, everyone. I'll see you all next time. Goodbye for now.